Recording in progress.
Jump inside the stove.
And buckle on in,
Open your mind.
because it's time to dive into
2, 1.
The deep end.
The deep end.
Welcome to the deep end.
The deep end.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
It's deep, man.
Too deep, brah.
Hey, welcome everyone to episode 17.
Hey. We have a special treat for you tonight, or today, whatever time of day it is that you're listening. We have a special guest, a friend of mine from high school, actually. I saw a post that he made talking about how he, left a high-paying job and followed his passion of tattooing. And 13 years later, here he is living his dream, basically what we all talk about on the podcast. So I wanted to bring him on and have him tell you guys for himself what it was like. And I don't know what else to say about that. You chime in now.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the deep end.
Oh, yes.
Time for a vibe check.
Vibe check. It's a vibe.
Vibes all day.
I'm digging your vibe, baby.
We're each going to pull some oracle cards to read what is the vibe of the week.
Hell yeah, let's see what the current energetic vortex has for us today.
Intuition. Oh my god, my eyes are watering. I can't even read it.
Just use your intuition.
Right. So it's a beautiful unicorn standing under an arch that has red roses and the lady standing next to the unicorn. And it says, okay, I need to take a fucking picture of this with my phone and blow it up. Okay, I guess I'm getting old.
Dude, no, last night
man.
I was talking to my friend Clarissa on the phone and I was telling her about this movie that it just had to do with what we were talking about. And I couldn't see, I was on IMDb and I'm scrolling to see the filmography so I could find this movie and I could not see it very well. And I'm like, fuck. And I have these reading glasses in my nightstand. So I'm like, ugh. So I put them on and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I could see this so well. And I'm like, I could see it so close too. And I'm like, fuck, because I was telling her how I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm like, I still have my natural hair, no gray, and I'm almost 40. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then I have to put these glasses on. I'm like, whoa, she's fucking blind. Like, I can see so good well now.
I've convinced myself that my hairs are blonde and they're not gray.
No, I'm actually looking forward to it because then I could finally do the crazy colors. Like I've always wanted to do like purples and blues and stuff, but I don't want to bleach my hair. Like I baby my hair. I love she's just soft and sweet, and demure. But yeah, I baby the fuck out of my hair. And so once it goes gray, then I'm gonna dye it pink. Like just be that pink grandma.
So apparently you still have to bleach gray hair, is what I've
Not
been told.
me. Well, I actually don't care because it's like it's gray, like gray hair. It's gray hair. Like, why do I want it to look like a prettier shade of gray? Like, no.
Oh
It's
no,
fine.
I mean to get those like punky colors to stay.
No, I know what you meant. I
Oh,
meant like I
okay.
don't care about the bleach. So yeah, I'll totally
Oh.
let him bleach. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Is like, yeah, I'll totally let him bleach my hair because I don't care. Yeah, it's just
Oh,
gray hair.
I
Yeah,
see.
it's not
Yeah.
my beautiful chestnut brown.
Right.
I have a hard time. I did like the biolage for so long and I loved it and it was nice. And I'm like, this is a cool way to high grade hair, but I don't know. I just one stopped affording like being able to afford that. But I don't like bleaching my hair all the time.
Yeah.
I like love just not doing harsh things to my hair. I wanted to make like these hair serums because I used to do like all these crazy oil concoctions when I was in college and even after I used like especially when I DJ'd I'd curl my hair a lot or like wave it. And I used to do all the and then of course the bleaching I used to do all these like oil treatments on my hair and I'm like I should market this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a process. I am very lazy. I'm having a hard enough time making content for my page. I finally did it today and I'm proud of myself. So it's like let's just one step at a time on
I
these
kept
goals.
waiting for the stitch in where you were gonna say like something about in her chart being a fighter or something.
About who?
The video that you posted was of your daughter, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that was just I know I didn't say any of her placements. I should have because she's got a first house fucking Mars. Like she is always swinging on us, and I'm like, girl, oh man, when you get bigger, I'll hit you back.
I thought that I kept waiting, like I thought that's what you were gonna say in the video was like, oh, like make a joke about something like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I had these videos of her holding up her dukes, and so I wanted to put it to that sound.
Yeah, that was
Just
cute.
just for myself, really. I
Right.
just because I think it's fucking hilarious. Because I
It got
always,
a lot of likes.
yeah, I did. I know. I was like, cool. Because when I sang that to her when she would do that, like sometimes if I do the live video on some of these photos, you could hear me singing that to her. But yeah, fucking, and that's another thing. She has a first house Venus as well. Like she has two conflicting planets in the same house, and so does Sonia. Sonia has Jupiter and Saturn. Those are also two conflicting planets. So it's like Jupiter is the expander and Saturn is the restrictor, and like fucking Mars is the fighter and Venus is the lover. So both of them, like one of them's a lover and a fighter, and the other one is trying to expand, but she's got too many rules and restrictions around it. So it's like, cool. I birthed two contradictions just like me.
I'm pulling from the Oracle of the Unicorns deck, and I pulled Intuition. Listen to the whispers of your heart. Use divination tools to help you decide. Trust your intuition no matter what.
Yes, I think this card goes along with yours. The village, the hometown, the family, the tribe. The village presents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it is a place that feels most like home, the place to which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists, one most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present anytime we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return. For now, the world awaits.
Tell me,
Sorry.
Clint, do you believe in
Yes.
aliens? I was kidding.
Let me put it this way. I don't not believe in aliens. How about that? Like,
No.
until I actually get to fight one at some point, I'm not going to say that they're real, but I'm also not going to discount it. There's so much that we don't know about everything out there in space that it astounds me. I heard something the other day. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but if you looked at all the water in the oceans on the Earth, and you took a 16-ounce water bottle and you dipped it into the ocean, and you looked at, like, held it up in front of your face, and you didn't see any fish in there, that's how much of space that we have explored comparatively, like in the ocean. We've explored a 16-ounce glass of water
I know,
in
it's
the
crazy to think
entire
about.
like water of the Earth.
Yeah.
So it's understandable how we haven't found any quote unquote proof of life out there. You
Is
look
it
at it in
part
that
of,
concept.
do you think that we haven't found it or we haven't been told the truth about it?
Oh, we're never told the truth. Yeah. Now that's 100% true.
Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
government's involved with telling us anything, they're gonna lie about it, and they're gonna be terrible. So yeah.
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 I found the post. So, what inspired having Clint on as a guest, he made a Facebook post about a month ago talking about how it was his anniversary. He says, 13 years ago today, I tattooed for the first time ever on human skin. I believed in me, and I had some good people around me that believed in me too. This all started as something I thought was rad, but I don't know if I ever thought it would be my only job. I had too much going on. I needed the safety of working a job. I worked a great job at the mine. Kennecott copper mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I would work a 12-hour shift and turn around and try to tattoo for a few hours and make a few bucks and get my creativity out. I just loved it. I fell in love with it more and more every time. I worked both jobs for almost 4 years, barely sleeping or catching up on sleep at the wrong times. I lost friends because I didn't have time. When I did have downtime, I drew for tattoos. I literally burned my candle at both ends. On an I averaged 4 hours of sleep a night during those years. On the days I wasn't working at Kennecott, I was putting in a full day at the shop, and it was something else. I believed so heavily in myself, I ran off nothing but that optimism. My fuel was seeing a dream nobody else could see. This isn't even half the story. If you ever want a boost that you're headed in the right direction on your dream, I'll tell you more. Just know it's all possible. And that was awesome. It inspired the fuck out of me, but also it's just concepts that we talk about on the podcast about following your passion and, living a life of joy and creating the reality that you want to see and live in. And that was the perfect example of that. And so I had to have you on to come talk about it.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I look at life now and I never expected it to be as cool as it is, but I always knew that like I was gonna live a cool life. I just didn't know exactly how, right? I didn't know the how of getting there, but now that I'm in it, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. I just had this feeling inside of me all the time that like my life is gonna be rad. I just don't know how to get it there yet. I don't even know why I felt but I constantly had that belief in the back of my head. Even when I was working at the mine before I found it, I just felt like no, there's more to life than just going to work for 48 to 80 hours a week. There's more than just getting a paycheck out of this. There's got to be. And so I've always had this belief. I didn't work there forever, but I've worked a bunch of different jobs, but I always had this belief that there's something cooler to life, and I want to figure out how to get there.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So how long did you work at the mine, and how long were you into that until you were like, this ain't for me?
So total time worked at the mine for 9 years.
Mhm.
And about year I want to say it was about year 5 is when I found tattooing and I started an apprenticeship. As I looked at it, I literally looked at it as like, I just need some extra money and I need to draw more. This is a cool way to do it. Didn't ever think of it as a full-time job. I have 3 kids. Like it's really hard to quit
Mhm.
a regular job like that with that quote unquote safety of having money every 2 or every week or whatever.
Well, yeah, eating's
Um,
nice. So having a house is nice.
yeah, those things are cool. I enjoy them sometimes.
Right.
Do you
Um,
remember any certain specific point where you decided that you wanted something more or something else?
I remember the turning point after I started tattooing, like when I was still tattooing very part time. I remember the turning point of like, wait a minute, why can't I why isn't this my job? I can't tell you the exact day, but I know what day of the week it was. I went in on a Saturday and I worked my butt off on a Saturday, worked like 10 hours or something like that at a tattoo shop, which is it's still not like crazy hard work. 10 hours isn't that much tattooing. I worked my butt off that day, and it was the first day I'd worked like a full hard day of tattooing. At the end of the day, I kind of added up how much I had made, and I was like, I just made in a day what I make in a week at Kennecott.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And why the fuck am I not trying to make this my job more? Because being able to control that, right? Like, I don't
Mhm.
necessarily have to work a 10-hour day every day, but what if I work a few 8-hour days like this and I'm not working 12, because at Kennecott I was working 12-hour days.
Yeah.
So I kind of questioned myself really hard of why am I doing both of these things? And I'm taking time away from my kids. I'm taking time away from my dogs. That's about it. I didn't have much else going on. So, but like taking time away from your kids, that sucks.
It
Yeah.
does.
Working
Yeah, that's
both
a
of those
long
jobs
time.
suck so bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did both jobs when my kids were pretty young, so they don't remember all that much. Maybe they do. I don't know. I don't know how kids' brains work. I just like to traumatize them.
Just leave them absent, and then they won't know or expect anything out of you later.
Exactly. That's what my dad
Lower
did. It's fine.
expectations, you gotta lower yeah, mine too, gotta lower expectations.
Yeah. But yeah, I knew that I had to get something different so I could stop missing everything that my kids actually had in life. So it was that moment, that same day I started putting a plan together of like, all right, how do I make this a reality? How do I make this switch and make it smart? Not just go jump off the deep end and be like, all right, I quit Kennecott because I made a decent day. And then I made this big long plan, and then I immediately like didn't follow that plan.
Yeah.
I made a
of
plan of
fear,
saving
or-
up. No, out of really being dumb.
Oh,
I'm a like shoot first and ask questions later kind of person.
yeah.
So I had made this plan of like saving up 6 months worth of my bills. Every dollar was accounted for. And then I was like, the minute I have that, I'm gonna like walk into Kennecott and turn in my 2 weeks. Like I have the integrity to turn in 2 weeks and still work those 2 weeks. Like, yeah, I wasn't ever planning on coming back. As I was saving this money up and telling people, like, yeah, I'm gonna quit this job and I'm gonna go work for myself and I'm gonna be a tattoo artist. All these people that have been at the mine for 10, 20, some of them 30 years are like, dude, you do not quit this job. Like, this is a job you can retire from. This is a really good job. Like, people kill for this job.
Yeah.
It never stopped me believing in myself, but it made me realize like how little other people believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how much fear
Um,
keeps people in a place they don't
Oh,
belong.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go out there at any given time, you walk through the people that work there and you're going to be like, oh, you're not happy.
Mhm.
You're not happy. Like,
Yeah.
you just see it on their faces and it sucks, man. Like, I don't want to live like that.
Right.
So I saved up this amount of money, and it took me about a year and a half to save that kind of money because I'm terrible with money and I just keep buying stupid shit. So
Ditto to that.
I got a lot of cool shit now.
I know, right? I got a lot of stuff. You want to see it?
Yeah. But once I finally got it, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going in. I turned in my 2 weeks. I hadn't really accounted for. I was really busy when I worked in Tooele tattooing because Tooele is a small small community, so it was easy to gain clientele.
Yeah.
3 months before that, I had moved into Salt Lake, had zero clientele. But I was like, fuck it, I got 6 months worth of money. I can figure this shit out. That was a really stupid thing to do because I should have waited a little until I had a solid clientele built up.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Did any of your Tooele clients come out to
A
Salt Lake?
couple, yeah, a couple, not a ton of them. A lot of people said they would, and then they immediately started getting tattooed by people who are still in Tooele. And that's
Yeah.
totally fine. Like, that's there's a certain mentality of Tooele that goes right along. So I understand it, and I don't hold
Oh, I
any
know what
grudges
you
by any
mean.
means. I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I left it.
Yeah.
No,
But yeah, it was kind of a dumb move on my part, that portion. The rest of it was like really well executed. But the minute I left, I saw the major flaw in my plan of like, oh, Salt Lake has a lot of tattoo artists and a lot of really good ones. Shit, I'm in over
so now
my
you're
head.
just like, yeah, you're like this little fish in a big pond now. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you booth rent, or did you have like your own spot there?
No, I was booth rent for the majority of my career in Salt Lake. I've been booth rent, except for the last 3 years I've been on my own. Within 12 months, all of that money that I had saved was gone. So I was only making like half of what I should be making for 12 months. And I made that money last for 12 months. And then I was like, I need a job because I ran out of money. And it's like, I need income. I turned to a really good friend of mine. And I reached out to him and I was like, hey, dude, can I get a job with you working nights so I can still tattoo during the day? And he's like, yeah, let me see what I can do. I went through a whole big long interview process and they pulled some strings to like put me on a special schedule and everything. And this guy calls me and he tells me, okay, like once you sign this contract, like we've got you locked in for your income and your benefits and all this stuff. You start on this date. And the minute he said that, my mind kind of exploded and I was like, I can't take the job.
Because it's not it's not part of the plan.
Yeah. So I turned this guy down after I went through this big long process and then I felt pretty shitty about it. So yeah,
That's so funny though. I'm so sorry, that's just sucks.
Yeah.
That guy's probably like, all right, well fuck me, right? Jesus. It's like,
yeah,
fuck.
I guarantee that's what he went through.
Yeah, but one would argue
Luckily,
that that experience was what you needed to give yourself the
oh, it
permission
was
slip
for
to
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
go harder.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that realization
Well,
of
and
like,
it's good
holy
you
shit.
well, it's good you listen to your intuition on that one too. You know, you listen to your gut and what felt right and not what felt safe, you
Yeah.
know.
I'm
Yeah,
guilty of going
yeah.
back to what's safe and then wasted 4 more years. And
It's
so
tough.
it's easy to fall back into what's comfortable just because it's scary to chase your dreams. That's for sure.
The older we get, the more we cling on to those safeties.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got friends right now who are currently in the process of quitting their jobs and creating their own lives. And I find that the older a person does that, the older they try and make that transition, it is so hard for them to break that. Like, oh, but what about my benefits and what
Yeah.
about my check every 2 weeks and this and that? And it's like, bro, what about those things? Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
It's
A
like
lot of
I
it
haven't
is about rewiring your belief systems, you know, like your belief systems around
totally.
what you're capable of, what is possible for you, as well as just like the ingrained things.
And look at how, you know, the culture reaffirms the fear-based beliefs. Like when you were getting ready to leave that place, and all the people that said, "Oh, you're crazy. You got to stay here," you know, and other people feeding into this fear-based living and never going out on a branch and taking a chance because they'd rather be miserable and safe than happy and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild to me that so many people are on the other side of the fence, right?
Right.
There's not a lot of people on our side of the fence that are like, no, I believe in myself enough that I can go and do whatever I want.
Oh yeah.
That takes a lot of balls when everybody around you is like, hey, slow down there, cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it takes a lot, and it's scary to be different, and it's scary to be the first one in your family to do that too.
Yeah.
All that trauma that comes up of oh man, like my mom worked 2 normal jobs, right? And I don't know what my dad did, who knows. Every trauma that's associated with the trauma of, oh man, they messed up on my check once, I better stay in line, right? Like, so that doesn't happen again. All of those things, they mess up your head and how you're thinking about, like, oh, I need this to be happy, I need that to be happy.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I haven't had health insurance in like 10 years.
Me either.
And I'm actually really happy about that because I think it's all a big scam anyway. But
It is. It's bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit. I
yeah,
agree. Like, fuck that.
I haven't
Like, can
I
we all
haven't actually
collapse
died
already?
yet from
Fuck.
not having it. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is it's like, I mean, if something happens to you, like you break your leg or you need major surgery, like, yes, like you go to the doctor, you go to a surgeon, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But like little boo-boo cuts and little sicky, sneezy, whatever, it's like just fucking stay at home and fucking, you know what to do. Or get
Yeah.
out Google and ask Google how to fucking bandage a cut. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll stitch you
I don't
up.
know.
Let's do this.
Put a little
Yeah, just
decoration
bite
while you're
down on
doing it.
this.
A little
Yeah.
tattoo.
But
Um,
I think it goes back to that same self-belief of, I know that I'm gonna be all right even if I don't go to the doctor, right? Like it doesn't stop at just like doing your job and getting paid for it. It's the same thing of, no, I know I'm gonna be all right if I don't go to the doctor for this obviously terrible spider bite that I just got. But just paying attention to it and taking care of it too. That's a lot of
uh-huh.
things. Is like, I don't
Well,
have health
it's just
insurance,
about taking
so
control of yourself, taking control of your life,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
taking control of the things that happen to you. Like they really are in a lot more control than you think you are. And a lot of people give their power away to every little fucking thing around them, and to the
Totally.
point where they can't even fucking think for themselves, you know? And it's just like, I don't know. I
Okay,
wanted to say
hive
something, but one of my
mind.
Yeah.
That's like my
yeah, the
absolute
hive mind.
hated thing. People are like everywhere I look right now, people are posting in random like mom groups and random groups and like, okay, hive mind, I need to know how much is it for airport parking at Oakland Airport?
I can't believe someone really
Or you
says
could
hive
use
mind.
Are
Google.
you fucking kidding me
That
right now?
that's
Yeah.
right. Oh, I know. Like, Jesus. It's like, yeah, I don't even want to get started on that fucking tangent. It's so
Sorry.
annoying. It's like, hey, Hey, will you think for me? Will you adult for me? It's just
Sorry.
crazy. I think, I think we're no, you're fine. I think we're like other people also get stuck too, is where like they want to do that and they want to create this new reality, but it's like getting stuck in how to manifest it into reality. Because it's like when you hold on to these fear-based belief systems, you make decisions and you carry an energy with your actions that manifest the things that you're fucking fearing and thinking about. And so I don't know. I think a lot of people get stuck. I know I did in the beginning with like trying to get rid of all those belief systems that were
Yeah.
manifesting themselves in reality.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
me,
And
I wasn't even smart. I didn't even save up any money to leave my good job for chasing my dream. I just randomly like went in one day and was like, I had
She
this
quit cold
massive
turkey.
inspiration and went in and
nice.
put in my 2 week notice and it was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing after 2 weeks, but this is happening and this is happening now.
Yeah.
So at
You
least that
got
was
more
really
balls than
smart of
me,
you.
so yeah.
Well, I was terrified for a very, very, very long time, but I had actually had a session with the lady that taught me how to do past life regression, and she was like, "Now's the time." They keep yelling, "It's time to jump! It's time to jump!" And I was like, "It's time to jump!"
Oh damn. Yeah. That's actually me with all of my friends. I'm like, yeah, quit your jobs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
me
be
Yeah,
too.
stupid
do
about
it, do
it.
it.
Who cares?
I know. That's what I'm trying to do with this podcast is whoever wants to listen. Yeah, you could do it. You really can. It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
It's so
Um,
fucking scary, but it's only scary if you're not putting in the work. That's the thing is you have to put in the work
yeah.
and work for yourself and your dream and your goals. Like you have to put in the fucking work to make it happen. And so as
Yeah.
long as you're doing that, there's really nothing to be afraid of because the universe is going. Oh, I was literally just listening to this while I was getting ready. Daryl, I was listening to him on that podcast and I don't know if you're familiar with Bashar, but there's this guy, Daryl Anka, that like channels this being Bashar. It's the whole thing. And that's where we like, talk about this concept of like following your passion. And like he talks about it all the time. That's where we, piggybacked it from. But anyway, he was, oh, fuck. Out of all that explanation, I cannot fucking remember what I was gonna say. Oh, fuck.
was it like the
Oh yeah,
universe will unconditionally
no, I
support you?
remembered. Yes. So if you have a fear-based belief system, the universe will unconditionally support you in that belief system. If you don't think that you can make it without your job, then the universe is going to support you in that. If you feel like there's just something out there
Okay.
that's better for you and you go after it 100%, then the universe is going to support you in that. See, I have a belief that everything just works out for me. When the walls start closing in too tight, something just fucking comes through. And
Yeah.
yesterday, or no, two days ago, some lady just randomly called about my business card. And I worked a 6-hour day with her, and I so needed that money for groceries. And so I'm like, thanks, universe. Like it came
Yeah.
in clutch. And that's part of my belief system. And the universe supports me in that. So it's like, all right, so now I just need to build on that. My account
Yeah.
has $5,000 deposited every day.
Yeah. And it kind of goes back to the universe supports what you really believe. So you'll hear people that say,
Exactly.
"Oh, I
Yeah, you say
deserve
it.
to
Yeah.
be
Mhm.
successful." But then
Yeah.
they're like, "I never have money to do what I want. I never can do this. I never can do that." And that's like what you really believe. That's what the universe is supporting you in. And people don't realize like how much what they say and what they really believe underneath it all. Not what they just say out loud, but how they really feel is what they really get supported in.
Oh yeah,
So,
because energy follows intention. And
yeah.
so
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. I do a lot of the same kind of thought process of like, no, this is the way that my life is going to play out. And I cover those things every day. I used to keep a note in my car and I actually still have it now. But I used to keep a note of like every new client I get, they're gonna bring me two more also and stuff like that. And
Nice.
I've never worried about clients. Whereas
Mhm.
the first couple of years of tattooing before I was actually doing those things, and implementing them every single day and actually believing what came out of my mouth, I struggled with clients. That was a time where I was trying to find a job, right? Like once I started doing those things, everything else fell into place. And it was like, oh yeah, like my client list is long enough that if I don't want to work on a tattoo or I don't want to work with that specific client, I don't worry
You
about
don't have to. Yeah, that's cool as shit.
So it
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
you utilize like positive affirmations every day.
it. Yeah, for sure. I'm
Yeah, I'm
a
always
firm believer of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, those are so powerful. I'm always trying to explain to people that that's like one of the best and easiest and free ways to start to try to like take control of your life is literally saying something to yourself every single day until you believe
And
it.
bonus points if you say it in the mirror and look yourself in the eye. Because I seriously, Max and I were driving and he straight up told me, because I was telling him how proud of him I am. Like he's going to this high school, but it's like put on by the college and you have to test to get into the school in the first place. And he made it by the skin of his teeth. But I was so excited because I did not like the schools here. They are a joke. And I wanted him to have a quality education because this kid is smart and he needs to be challenged. And now he's in his senior year, like ready to graduate with college credit. He's like handled everything. He's got like all these free periods. I'm like, dude is set up better than me and all my brothers combined I mean, and my brothers and I did great in high school, but I'm like so proud of this
Yeah.
kid. And I was telling him this. I was like, you're just doing so well. Like you are. Oh yeah, I was joking with him about like the single mom statistics. I'm like, according to the statistics, you should be like in and out of juvie and on drugs. And we were like making jokes. But he's like, honestly, mom, he's like, what I do is I say things to myself in the mirror and I tell myself like that I'm smart and I tell myself that I'm capable. And like he just goes off about all these things that he wants to embody. And I'm like jaw to the floor. I was like, I don't even do
Yeah.
that.
That's awesome.
But I'm like, I started doing that today, but I was like, I was fucking impressed. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like, fuck yeah. Like, he's such a cool dude.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I love that. The problem is even if you tell most people, hey, go and tell yourself that you're gonna have a better life. Go and look yourself in the eye and in the mirror and do that kind of stuff. They won't believe it.
Right.
They've been so beaten down in the rest of life that you could tell them that and they still wouldn't believe it deep down.
Oh yeah, they'll make a joke and like brush it off. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So many people can't take a
And a lot of that is
Yeah.
or
consistency
even
too.
just but
Yeah, for
it is.
sure.
I know when I first started saying I love you to myself in the mirror and that I deserve better or I deserve more. I had that underlying well, like when I first said it, I made a joke. I laughed at myself and I was
Yeah.
like, that's not a good reaction, but yeah, I did. I fought it
Yeah.
for a while too. And then I stopped doing it for the longest time. And then I've heard like how amazing and effective it is. So I gotta do it again.
This is why I hit on all of my male friends. So they eventually believe that they like are worthy of being hit on because a lot of people like they get that compliment of like, no, I'm not gay, but I'm gonna hit on my male friends
No, but
because I want them to
the
know
same.
that they're like, all
No,
right.
I love yeah, I love that. Like I do that with girls. Like I always whenever I see a beautiful girl, I'll tell her how beautiful I think she is, And
Yeah.
like one time this chick
But
I
also,
fucking but well, like I love being a chick because sometimes I can be like, man, you got a nice rack, and they'll be like, I know, right? Like you want to feel it? I'm like, I do. And
I
it's
never
great.
get that
Like
reaction.
I love.
This is bullshit.
I know, I know, I love being a woman. It's the best. Because I am genuine too. I'm not lying. I think they have a nice rack, and I would love to touch them. In fact, I've
I think that goes
a couple
along
times.
like being genuine. Be real. Don't just pay a compliment of like, hey, you're pretty. No, like what did you notice about the person? Because they're not going to
Exactly.
believe it if you're just like, oh, you're pretty today. Like why? What little
Well, and you
thing
could
did you
feel
notice that made it
the-
different?
Exactly. Like you could feel the energy behind it. If there's no energy behind it, you're like, okay, cool, thanks. But when you're genuine and authentic, like they totally do feel that.
And they need to start believing it. Too many people do not believe in who they are as a person. And that's a huge problem.
Yeah. Society is kind of set up that way because it makes people easier to manipulate.
Yeah. I think a portion of it is like people do need to wake up to society, but that starts with you've got to wake up to you, right? Like you've got to wake up to what's inside of you and what you're actually capable of.
Yeah.
Not this like hive mind shit that you guys are talking about. I'm actually really glad I haven't seen that because I'd be so mad.
Oh, I know, me too. I haven't seen it either, and it would drive me insane.
About what?
But hive mind.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's another thing that they were talking about on the podcast is like a lot of it is like once you awaken and you expand, then that's how you really expand conscious. I'm not saying this right. You start by forgetting who you are and then by rediscovering who you are from another perspective, which is how creation expands. And that's the whole point of it all is for creation to expand and to grow and to blah blah. And so it's like when everybody, because it's not about trying to get other people to wake up, it's really just getting yourself to on your own path and your own journey and whatever, because that's,
Yes.
because then when you do that and then when they do that and then that person does it and that person does it, then it's like it becomes, the normal energy. Everybody's ascending together. I can't explain what I mean though.
No, I think it goes back to like the lighthouse theory. I don't know if you guys have heard of that or talked about that at all, but you're not ever going to fix anybody's life. All you can ever do is be the best that you can be at your life and hope that they can see that light, right? It's not that you're going to be a tugboat, you're not going to go out and pull people into shore, but you're literally just going to be a lighthouse and you're going to live your life as well as you possibly can in hopes that other people see that and they get a little bit of light on their path of, oh, hey, like I can do stuff in my life.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just be as authentic as you can, and that inspires other people by shining your own light.
Exactly. You just bully them into creating a better life. That's what I do with my life. So
Yeah, just kill them with kindness.
I'm gonna
and all that
convince
shit,
everyone through memes.
I don't
Oh,
kill
yeah,
them with
dude.
kindness. I'm actually a bull.
No, see, that's the name of my sword. Kindness. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something to what Stephanie said, but I can't remember now.
I'm gonna change the world through memes.
Oh yeah, that's how I fight. That's my job in the revolution. Hello, I'm a meme lord. I gotta make everybody laugh. That's my gift to the collective is I just want to make you laugh. If it could make you laugh, then it'll raise your vibration enough to, want to
Yeah.
feel good like that all the fucking time. And if not, we'll laugh through it. But I like another thing to note too is like, people, because I've talked to people who are in it and struggling and whatnot, and it's almost like, when you follow a spiritual life, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this. Why am I not happy? Why is my life not perfect? Why are things, not happening for me? And it's also, following your passion and your dreams. Like I moved to Salt Lake. I work at this tattoo shop. Where are all my clients? And
Yeah.
so a lot of it too is it's like realizing that you're still going to be given the lessons and experiences to help you grow. But as long as you do that with a positive mindset and these affirmations and stuff, you're not going to do it suffering. Like, why suffer through these lessons? Like, I don't know, it's like it literally is your mindset that's going to create the reality that you want. So if your mindset's always negative and waiting for the bottom to fall out, then that's what reality you're going to have. But if you want to live a life of joy and of love and of peace, then yeah, you're still going to have shit happen to you, but you're going to be happy about it. Because mainly when you're in that vibration, you could find the solutions to get you through it because the solutions are not in that lower vibration. You have to raise your vibration to find the solutions to the problems that you find yourself in. And
Yeah. And I think that one's a tough one for people because they look at someone else's life. Like if you look at my life, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, like nothing bad ever happens in Clint's life. Really?
Mhm.
You want to talk about the last 3 years of my fucking life? Like we could talk about that shit, but you're gonna have a bad time. I'm not stopping. I'm not letting it slow me down. Okay, I might have sat down for a little bit, but like it's not gonna stop me from getting where I want to be. Everybody's gonna have some flat tires along the way, but that doesn't mean you don't get out and change the fucking thing and get back on your way.
Well, and a lot of those flat tires are just readjustments, realignments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you get going on a course that shouldn't be on and don't realize it yet. And yeah, those flat tires happen to course correct. And that's
Yeah.
another thing I've noticed too is like if you're struggling so fucking hard and shit's always going wrong, it's like, well, stop fighting it then. Like what's going on? Why are you hitting brick wall after brick wall? Like maybe you're not, this is a dead end for a reason. you know, like I don't know, because I hit that in San Diego
Yeah.
until I finally left San Diego, and I didn't realize that's what I was just being kicked out by San Diego.
Oh, what a terrible thing, huh? San Diego's
I
gross.
no, I love it. Don't talk bad.
But that is a real thing. I've got a friend right now, and he's currently in the process of quitting his job and buying a accounting business, like tax accounting and CPA stuff. But everything in his life has kind of led up super boring on that side. But he's an awesome guy, and so I love it for him. But everything in his life has kind of led up to this, and everything just like lined up perfectly. Of hey, this is where you're supposed to fucking be right now. Do not deviate from where you're going because this is where you're supposed to be. Whereas every other turn that he's ever had has been like, oh, there's so much resistance in this direction. There's so much resistance in that direction. Cool. That maybe isn't the direction you need to go.
Right.
No, you said accounting. I just chuckled because I pictured him like counting. So he's sitting there, 1, 2.
Not quite that slow. He's pretty fast.
I know, right? Probably way faster. That's how I count.
Yeah.
I count slow.
I'm a tattooer,
I-
so I don't count at all.
I know, right? Yeah, you don't need to count.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's like with DJing, man. I loved it, but it was hard because there's a lot of counting involved, and I didn't know that. You have to count to 8 and 16 a lot.
Yeah. Nope, I'm not down. Not
And then
doing
I
it.
would like, yeah, I would get to like 13, and then I'd be like, shit, what am I on? 12, 5? Fuck. I'm like, fuck it. We're gonna drop it here.
Yeah. That's
But
me with
anyway.
lifting right now. Like you get me lifting and I'm like, I don't know what number I'm on. We'll just do 5 more. It's fine.
Not me. I'll just stop. I'm like, I forgot. I'm done.
Yeah. That was 20, right?
It's like, no, dude, you did 5.
I think paying attention to that resistance a little bit, and you're gonna have resistance even on the right path, right? But when it's
Right.
right, it's not gonna be the same kind of thing. When you start to
Mhm.
feel it flow together,
It's gonna be like a challenge than a resistance, you know?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
I like that
like to get to the next
comparison for
level,
sure.
you know?
Yeah,
Because that actually leads to an analogy that they were talking about is like when you're playing a video game and you're stuck on the same spot in a level, like what do you do? Do you stop playing? Do you keep playing that part over and over until you stop? Or do you figure out the puzzle and move on? And
Well, I throw my controller at the screen and cuss it out.
or
So.
sometimes use cheat codes. I use cheat codes, dude. Give me the
Yeah.
Oh,
cheat
dude,
codes.
the Game Genie. Were you guys around for the
Oh
Game
my
I
Genie?
love
God,
Game
yeah.
Oh my
Genie.
God.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
yes.
so good.
Give me all the codes up front. I'll deal with it. It's way more fun when I've got all these guns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I know.
My favorite was in Super Mario 3. I would do like the permanent flying, like the raccoon tail where you can fly through every level.
Yeah.
No, that one's cool. I never got that one. I wasn't skilled enough.
You weren't skilled enough to plug in the Game Genie? Come on.
I know. I right.
You just
Yeah.
have to blow on it. Just blow.
That sounds dirty.
Just blow on it and put it in the deep end. Sorry. Okay.
And now my kids can know.
Now I can't listen. That was dirty. No, I'm just kidding. So it's saying in the past, our choices were limited because our knowledge is limited about open contact, knowledge of the universe, creation, and reality. Oh, dude. On that podcast, he was talking about how Bashar's been saying that by 2026, like there's going to be an event where we're going to be opened up to the possibilities of like open contact and like other beings and all this stuff. And by 2050, we'll have a whole ass new society with, because they're going to do it in phases where like they're going to introduce us to beings that are humanoid and look like us so it won't freak us out, and then they're gonna slowly start to introduce us to all the weird looking ones. I'm like, I can't wait for that.
That's
But
interesting. In the book I'm reading, they talk about in 2050, by 2050, Isis will have come back, which is the divine feminine, and with her, she's going to be bringing all the real true history of the earth,
oh yeah, that's what he was
which
saying.
will
Like we're gonna have
liberate us.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now on the sacred knowledge, it's the person who works under ISIS that got kidnapped in the Egyptian life with ISIS, and they came back in this current incarnation because they have to be alive again at the same time when ISIS comes back.
Wow.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, because that's another thing that it's exciting is to learn. Because he was saying how, like, in order, like, humans need to know our history so we can know where we're going. And that's
Yeah.
literally what it is for the soul on a soul level. Like, you need to go into your past so that you know where you're going. And the more you go into your past lives and your soul history, the more you are awakened to your divine magnificence and you could take that into where you're headed.
Yeah.
Like, I had no fucking idea that I'm from other planets. Well,
I
no,
didn't
I'm
think
just,
about the interplanetary reincarnation.
Oh
oh
I just
yeah,
yeah.
thought about this planet.
I discovered that I am Arcturian from the planet Arcturus. Oh
You guys
yeah.
have delved way deeper on this than I ever. So that's super interesting.
It is interesting. It's crazy. We stumbled on this war of another planet that I was on and she was on too. And like the planet blew up, it's crazy.
Have you heard of
Like
the concept where the Milky Way used to be a planet, but it exploded, and that's what the Milky Way is the leftover pieces of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
yeah, that was the
Maldek.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we're
Dude,
getting on the same wavelength.
yeah. I know I'm high. I kind of take it out there, but sorry about that. But
No, you're fine.
if you want to know about your soul shit, like she does that stuff. She could totally,
Yeah, that's my thing. I take you on a journey.
yeah, it's
Yep.
really fucking cool. Yeah.
I don't know that I'm quite on that level yet. I'm just starting to figure out some of these things, and like I'm getting there, but like
Yeah.
it is one of those things of you've got to be ready for that shit, right? Like
Oh,
otherwise
for
you're just like,
sure.
nah, like whatever. I might have been a platypus in a previous life, but maybe not.
Yeah, very, very well. I was an octopus.
Okay.
I was a
Not
lazy
from this
jaguar.
world either. A
Right.
lazy one? Come on.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was. I just wanted my food to come to me. Like I was so lazy. Like I hated hunting because it involved like running.
I got to be out in this heat all day trying to
Yeah,
chase down
like
a fucking pig. Nah.
exactly. I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't for me. I like to sit in the tree and just watch everything go by and like I was a
Yeah.
dork. I was such a lazy goofball. But I've learned I've also a daffodil. I used to grow at the base of this really tall tree, and then I loved it when the gardener sang to me. It was cool. So now I talk to my plants. I'm like, I know you're in
Yeah.
there, and I know you like when we talk to you. So hi.
That's funny. So you were saying that people have to be ready for it. So I actually did a past life regression hypnosis session this morning with someone who we went to two past lives, but the first one we went to, they were a gray alien on a planet off of the star of Sirius. And basically, it looked like Mars. And they were monitoring the planet because they knew that there was a cataclysmic event that was coming that was going to destroy the planet, and they were trying to stop it. And the cataclysmic event, as when we moved forward in the life, the cataclysmic event did come and kill everyone, including the family of the person who was regressed in that. But they lived because their lab where they were doing research was fortified. And so it was like a really intense earthquake type of event that killed everyone. And so they left in ships and went to like a mothership. They thought they went to a different planet, but it sounds like they went to a biosphere type of a place that was inhabited by tall, white beings that wore robes and were really fair and highly intelligent. They were fifth dimension beings, and they let them live there for a while and gave them their own area where they could continue to live. And she suffered a lot of trauma. It was incredibly emotional losing her family like that. And so
Yeah.
she still carried that trauma till today. And that's why her higher self showed her that life. But I'd asked her, because we always let the higher self decide what life they're going to go to, whatever helps you most on your journey right now. And when she woke up, I asked her, have you ever had any kind of a connection or feel like you had alien lives or connection to this part of the galaxy or anything? And she was like, had never even considered it, like never thought about anything like that before. I think that really took her by surprise. But
Yeah, for real.
can you imagine going in
Totally.
and just wanting to like have a human life and you're like, oh, well, I was an Eben on a star off of Sirius or on a planet off of Sirius. But
Like,
it
Yeah.
that's
was
crazy.
it was really neat. When we got in, the first thing I do is ask you to describe yourself, look at your hands, and she's like, "My hands are gray. I have 3 fingers." I was like, "Yes, that's an alien." I'm
I
kind of
know.
obsessed, so
I know that's like her wet dream, I
yeah.
swear. She's like been just foaming at the mouth to have an alien one. And I when you said that on Facebook, I was like, "Yes, I cannot wait to hear that one."
Yeah, this is the same thing as like in like right now time, right? Like if you go to the average everyday person and you're like, hey, the government lies to you a bunch, and you probably shouldn't eat what they tell you to eat or do what they tell you to do, they're gonna be like, no, the government
Right.
wants what's best for me. People have to be a little more open to those things and a little more ready to take those things.
I can't
Yeah.
believe that those
Um,
people exist. Like it's like that's just crazy
oh,
to
it's
me
a
that
real
they think they
thing.
give a shit about
Yeah,
them. Like it's so crazy to me. Why would they do that? It's
That's
like
interesting that you
yeah,
mentioned that about the food because that was one of like the biggest things that came through in her session today was her higher self kept saying that she has to quit eating the poison in our food. And they like
yeah,
kept
wow.
stressing how poisonous our food is. Anything processed is poison. She needs to eat as natural as possible. And it was like an overwhelming theme they kept mentioning. So I know that it's bad for you, but to have like someone's higher self like flat out say over and over, the food is poison. She
yeah,
has to quit eating it. It was just like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
I know that is
yeah, and
crazy.
we just need to tell that to everybody. Not,
Oh,
I mean, whether your past life is telling you that or not, you
Right,
need to tell it
right,
to everybody.
right.
no, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys are way deeper on this. That's a whole new level of stuff that like we get into some weird talks in my shop, but and I'm not saying this is weird. I'm saying like we get into random topics.
Hmm.
But this has literally never come up. This is all brand new.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. So, like,
Yeah.
what's a weird topic that you've talked about in your shop?
Oh, we get it. Like I'm the one that wants to push every topic out there. So like lately we've been on a topic of if there isn't anything to talk about, we're going to talk about if you get to choose what you're reincarnated as on this planet because I've never
Nice.
heard of interplanetary ones.
Oh, yeah.
And like what would you pick and why?
That's
And
awesome.
you hear some weird stories and then you hear some stuff that like is very plain like oh, I want to be a horse because I think it'd be fun to run fast and run through the fields. And it's like, yeah, and then a human gets on you, and then it's not that fun anymore, is it?
What would you pick?
Hyena.
Nice.
Why
Yeah.
hyena?
Because they're actually fascinating to me. Them as a creature, they have the strongest bite force of any mammal, but they also like sit around laughing all day at dumb shit, and then when it's time to like rip out something's throat, they get to go and do that. So it's pretty like you get two opposite ends of the spectrum, and it's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a Sagittarius. It sounds
I'm
like
I
not
you.
a
would
Sagittarius,
I would
but
put
all right.
money that
No,
that
I'm just playing.
I would put money on the bet that you've probably been one already.
I was just gonna
It's
say that.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I bet because like the things that you're drawn to and the things that you're obsessed with, like it really does stem from somewhere. And it's hilarious to uncover that. Like the things
Now,
some of the shit you wouldn't even think stems from something. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
now, hold on. Go and look up when you get a chance. Go and look up a picture of a baby or cub hyena, and you'll understand why I'm fascinated immediately. Because these things are adorable when they're puppies. Like they're
I
wildly adorable.
Yeah, I don't really find hyenas adorable. And it turns out from my jaguar life, there were little cheetah cubs that lost their mom or some shit, and I used to kind of watch them from afar, and some fucking hyenas got to them.
Yeah.
So I'm
We're
like,
kind of
ah,
assholes. So
they are, yeah. But I mean,
What
it's
if that's where you
nature.
guys really met? Is in that lifetime?
and she watched me eat a cheetah cub.
Well, I don't hate the guy. That would probably make me hate him, but I
Yeah.
don't.
Sorry about your bad luck there watching me eat those cheetah cubs, but I was hungry. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about nature doing its thing.
Yeah. And I laughed about it after. Probably not
Probably,
that, but I laughed at something
yeah,
after.
something was
Okay.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing we've been finding really randomly, or, that's been pretty interesting in doing all these channeling sessions is how many past lives you actually share with random people in your life that you never even thought or realized.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Especially
man, I don't know whether I want to hear that one or not.
Oh, it's so fascinating. It's so funny. Like I I went back to a life because I was told, like my older brother and I, our origin story, he was a military officer and like I was one of his troops and like I looked up to him. He was a good leader. Well, we go through that life, right? And it turns out it was in Scotland and it was during the William Wallace times and like him trying, all the shit that
Yeah,
happened to
yeah,
him was
yeah.
happening at the same time. And she asked me at the end of the thing if I had any other energies that I could pick up on. And it made me laugh because I picked up my little brother, but he was a female. He was a villager there. And I fucking laughed my ass off. And I told both my brothers, they thought it was hilarious. But yeah, like
Oh, I love that.
a lot of your friends, coworkers, like a lot of that is not friends, but like coworkers and sometimes your military buddies. Those are people that like generally that's your first life meeting them. But when you know someone and you have deep experiences with them, you could trace your lives back to like meeting in the military, meeting them in school. Like that's usually where you always meet souls for the first time. And if they make an impact on you, then you incarnate again together. Because when you're doing your life contract, it's like you need people to fulfill roles for you to either help you on your journey, to challenge you on your journey, to redirect you, whatever but it's like you generally like to choose people first before choosing
Yeah,
some random soul to do it. You know what I mean? It's like picking teams for a project and the project is your life, so you're picking teams for your life.
yeah. Pick
But
some good
yeah,
ones.
exactly, and it's really funny like how all of that goes back because there was a life that Ryan and I were siblings, but she asked me where we lived and I felt like it was Africa and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that is new. And yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we
yeah,
haven't gone
Oh,
into
love
any
it.
African lives.
I know I should go into that life because yeah. I was surprised at how many Scotland lives I have. Like I don't even like I love Scotland, but I would have thought like my obsession with Europe, I thought it'd be something else, but it was apparently my soul is obsessed with Scotland.
Yeah. What's not to like though? It's got
I,
unicorns and shit.
Yeah.
big dudes in kilts. Yes. Although in all my Scottish lives, I've been a dude. So
So you were one of those dudes in kilts. All right.
I was a big
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Nice.
We could tell them a little bit about how we met and how we found our soul history.
Oh my God. We have so many fucking lives we've lived together and we've been doing shit like this, but like in a different form and all these
Yeah.
other lives. Like she was on that other planet that blew up. She was a scientist on that in that life. And
Okay.
I was a pilot and I crashed, but it was kind of cool. I had like no fear in that life. It was crazy to me. What were some, oh yeah, we figured out we were on the Oregon Trail together, but we haven't got into that life yet, but we were on the Oregon Trail and she died of dysentery.
I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah. And it was so funny because I used to get so pissed playing Oregon Trail when I died of dysentery. So whenever it came through in the channeling, I actually started laughing about it. I was like,
Well,
I started
no,
laughing.
I was gonna say it. I was literally gonna ask it. I was like, "Did you die of dysentery?" And she said it after I didn't ask it, but she said it. I was like, "Dude, that's so funny. You actually died of dysentery."
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Now we can go full circle to the Oregon Trail game.
yeah.
Oh my God, they have it on Apple Arcade, and it's awesome. But yeah.
Oh man. Now I'm definitely gonna waste some time on that.
You're welcome. Oh yeah, we also figured out she ran with Billy the Kid. And so
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I tried to channel that life for her, but I got really frustrated because I kept seeing scenes from the movie and I know a lot about him and trust the information. I thought I was placing it, you know? And
Oh
so
yeah,
I was like, girl, you got to go into this life. Like it was too
yeah,
frustrating for me because I know too much about him. Yeah. But it was
yeah. That's
cool.
a that's got to be a hard line to walk of like not inserting your own information on certain things, right?
Well, that's the thing is when you're in when she puts you in that hypnosis, it's not even like I'm still fully conscious. I don't know, I'm used to channeling and using my intuition anyway, so I just do it like I'm doing a regular reading for somebody. But it's
Yeah,
like, I don't know, it's just this feeling you get. And when you're in the scene, you can feel the scene. You can feel the sensation sometimes if you wanted to, or if they want you to feel something. Like there was a scene I lost my brother and sister and like a couple other people. They were kidnapped and like I literally felt hollow in my chest. Like I felt like somebody shot me with a shotgun and it was just hollow. Like it was I felt like the wind
oh
knocked out of me. Yeah, it was crazy. And like so it's like you do see scenes, you know what I mean? And you're seeing these visions. So it's like if you're saying stuff that isn't real or true, either they'll redirect you or they'll stop everything. Like I don't get anything if I'm trying to insert my own logic. Like
yeah,
it takes us yeah, it's like that's half the battle though, and we're trying to like, yeah, it's a whole thing. Like I have a whole thing with channeling because she has her blocks that we worked through, and now we're trying to work through my blocks. And my blocks came from like a life I had schizophrenia, a life I did the life I lost my brother and sister. I did hella drugs to cope because and like I was
yeah.
looking for him everywhere. After that life, I had a life of schizophrenia, so I had two lives of broken reality, one of choice and one with that was beyond my control. And then after that, I went into a life where I was a psychologist studying that stuff, and I used to give my fucking subjects LSD and like
Oh
we did like some questionable shit. I saw the words questionable practices and like I had like a lot of guilt around it, you know? And my
yeah.
karma in that life, I got Alzheimer's. How crazy is that? It was
Oh
fucking,
man.
yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was really wild. But it was really fucking fascinating because in this life, I studied psychology was my first major. So and I loved studying schizophrenia and psychopathy and sociopathy, like all the dark, twisty shit. And
Yeah,
that's what I did in that life too. It's funny. Only I didn't give people, well, I do give people LSD, but they know they're taking LSD.
yeah.
But her
It's not.
experience with the past life regression is pretty unique. Most people don't stay fully present during it. It's because she has so much experience already channeling before we started doing it. I think that she stays more present. But the
Yeah.
average person, most people either go to sleep or they feel like they were really relaxed watching a movie.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but she's a lot more active and interactive with the channeling than most people.
Yeah. I feel like if you tell me that I'm relaxed watching a movie, I'm gonna fall asleep because that's what happens when I'm relaxed and watching a movie.
Yeah. And most people
Yeah,
do.
yeah, they
Yeah.
do. And I wish I could, but I have such a tight grip on reality, and we're trying to like unlock that right now with the
A
mind
tight
stuff.
grip on this reality or
Yeah.
like would
Yeah,
okay. All
like
right.
and like because it's hard like because I've wanted to do ayahuasca, but I haven't, and I'm scared to because you literally go into another like I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
it's not like doing shrooms, you know.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. I just and so we're trying to dive into why I have such a tight grip in it, and yeah, we uncovered that psychologist life, so that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna go
Okay.
deeper, see
Yeah.
what's next, you know. But yeah, like that's because like this whole thing, I use it as therapy because it really works. You know, you can unlock a lot of the shit you're stuck with, or not stuck
Yeah.
with, like stuck on in life, like personality traits, like trauma that you need to let go of that's holding you back. You know, like I love it. It's just, yeah. And plus, it's just so fascinating the brain and the soul, it's really fascinating me, the shit you carry, you know, hold on to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really high, so I'm just gonna keep talking until someone stops me. I don't know. I'm really passionate about this. This is my passion, is this work, the channeling, telling the stories, like getting people to do it themselves. Like it's like this is my
Yeah.
passion. Yeah.
No, I that's what's a cool part of my job is I get to sit people down and talk to them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the same facet, but like it takes a minute for people to open up into what they're actually passionate about. It takes like some figuring out because they don't ever talk about what they're passionate about.
Sometimes they don't even know.
Yeah,
I
those
didn't
are the
know
worst
for a
clients
long
ever.
time.
But I love that part of life is it helping, not necessarily helping, but like figuring out what someone's passionate about and what they actually want to talk about. Because I don't care what it is. It could be the most boring, like asinine thing ever to me. But if they're passionate about it, that's what I love seeing. The passion
Yeah.
right there.
Mhm.
Like
Dude,
it
when
can,
I finally get some money and get you to go, because I want you to do this thing. I've told everybody to. I'm gonna get this panther tattoo on my shoulder. This dude Clint in Utah, he's gonna do it. But
fuck yeah.
I'm gonna save up some money. Because I'm serious. Like when I get the money, I'm gonna hit you up and have you start drawing it.
Yeah,
But
come
I'm
out anytime.
yeah, and I'm gonna talk your ear off about all the past lives.
Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
fucking
talk to you
down.
about wars, and I'm gonna talk to you about aliens, and
I'm down as fuck. Because again, like this is brand new to me.
oh,
It
it's
is an
fascinating.
untouched subject on my end.
Well, and I meet like I've always kind of dipped my toes in stuff, and I've always like done like I started doing mediumship readings, like connecting to lost loved ones for people. And then I
Yeah.
started like being able to read past lives for people, but never as deep as what I'm doing now. I just got the very general gist of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then a couple years ago I started listening to Dolores Cannon on like she talked about the shit that she discovered in her past life regression sessions, and it fascinated me. And then I started working with Stephanie and then uncovering like all this like this shit blows my noodle. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea half the shit existed, was possible. Like it's fucking wild. And it's like I just started. I cannot wait to see how deep all these rabbit holes go. Like the
Yeah.
universe is the coolest rabbit hole. Like
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
fuck all the other rabbit holes. The universe and just yourself. Like those are the best ones.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the self one is a lot easier for people to take, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like and start to understand and unlock. Oh yeah, there's a lot of power here. There's a lot of potential here. I enjoy waking people up to themselves for sure.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Because that's like a lot of people, that's the thing is when you're following your passion, you're basically a light worker in a sense. Like people are drawn to you and you point them in the direction they need to go. And sometimes they just need to be heard and feel seen and, all of that, or just someone to talk to about what's bothering them. Or there might be something you say that inspires the shit out of them and it course corrects them. It's like when you're living your passion, you're in that higher vibration that helps others raise their vibration as well. And I love that.
And people will be
Yeah.
drawn to you because of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That goes back to that whole lighthouse theory that I just talked about a little while ago. That's
Mhm.
exactly what it is right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get you out here. Get you tattooed.
I know I need some ink so bad. My last tattoo was in 2013. It's been a
Oh,
long,
wow.
yeah, it's been a long time. In fact, it might have been, yeah, it was when you were just a little wee pup in the game.
Yeah, I would have done my first tattoo in that year.
Oh yeah, yeah. Max drew me a tattoo that said "I love you, Mom," and I got it tattooed on me, and I love it. And I'm gonna have Sonia draw one, and I'll tattoo that on me too. But I
Yeah.
just need to get this sleeve done. I want my whole sleeve done, and yeah. But I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop there. I want other tattoos, but I gotta
Yeah,
get this
yeah.
sleeve done.
Well, anytime you're out, I'm happy to do it.
I know. I gotta make it out there. It's been a long time since I've been to northern Utah. I fucking miss it. Like it's cool out here and all, but I don't really know a lot of people out here. It's like I met my husband like early in the game, and so we're divorcing, and all of the friends go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I miss Utah. I just honestly just being somewhere that's cheaper. That's what would be really great is just being somewhere that's fucking cheaper. My friend and I, we were talking about this last night. Like she's been wanting to move to Houston and her mom's there and it would be free childcare, but they're still just toughing it out in Southern California. And I'm like,
Ugh.
like how long are you gonna run into that dead end? Like get out. Like you have the option to get out. I hate how expensive it is here. It just ruins the fun because it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And that's how Utah's getting to real quick.
I know, I hear that. Yeah. I don't know. There's other places I want to go, but I don't want to go to Utah per se because I don't really believe in going back. I just want to go forward. And so I'll live in places around Utah.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
all right too.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about other stuff or are we good to go? I just don't want to I just don't want to keep you. I don't know. Her and I could talk all night.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like I don't know if you saw my post today on Facebook, but I had a client I haven't seen in a few years, and she came in and we talked for an hour before I even started her tattoo because we were just catching up. And then we talked all the way through her tattoo, and then we talked a little bit more after, and then she finally left. So it was 1 hour of tattooing for 3 hours of being around her. My second tattoo went exactly the same way today. She is another client that used to live here. Now she lives in a different state, and she was in town for a week and wanted to get tattooed. Same exact thing. Came in, talked for an hour, caught up, tattooed her for an hour, and then she hung out for a little while more. And I'm like, I'm not very efficient at this job.
You're like, my turnover rate is kind of slow.
Yeah. I hope that you guys don't have anywhere to go. You're staying here.
That's funny. That's really cool though. I've definitely wanted to get tattooed just for the conversation because I'm like, I see your post and I'm like, man, you could talk. I'm like, challenge accepted, bro. I will talk your ear off.
Yeah. No, I like the vibe that you guys have together. It's cool stuff. So I can appreciate that for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
Right
want to
on.
tell the listeners how they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me. The easiest way and probably the way I'm most active is on Instagram. It is completely ridiculous, but my name on there is I am Radness, and it's all one word. It used to be a joke, and then it just stuck, and so now I'm stuck with the handle of I am Radness. But you can find my website for my clothing company. Find out more information about that. You can find any information you need about tattooing. Yeah, you can find all of that there. And if you want to look me up on Facebook, it's just Clint McInnes.
And what's
Yeah,
your website?
it's easy. My website is sparkadventures.store. Let you know all about the other half of my life, which is taking people on really rad adventures.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Where's your tattoo shop for all the Utah, or actually anybody who wants to make the pilgrimage to go get tattooed?
Yeah, I'm based in Salt Lake. I'm in my own private studio right now, but I'm actually moving. Nobody knows this yet, so
Ooh, spoiler alert.
I know, right? I'm moving in the first little part of October, so I'll still be in Salt Lake, but I'll be just at a different address with some friends of mine over at Reverence Tattoo, and it's down by the B Stadium, so just off of I-15 and 13th South. Yeah.
7200 South. Open Monday through
Yeah.
Friday till 8, Saturday till 5.
The old Shane Company. I should probably write an ad similar for that. for when I
Oh
do
my
move.
God,
That would
please
fucking
do it and do it in
hilarious.
the same voice, the same cadence. Like that would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
I could
Please
nail
do it.
that shit. I'm
Yes.
gonna do it. I'll
Oh my
figure it
God.
out and I'll get that ad
Yay!
going for as soon as I
Oh
move.
my God, that is hilarious. Yes, that is funny as fuck. And you gotta send it to me when you do it. I want to hear it.
Oh, I will. That's actually like a really good way. I need to
that's-
go find some old Shane Company ads and write them like the exact same as those were written.
I know. I
Like-
still have Pandora set to Utah, and so I get Utah ads when I'm listening to Pandora, and I still get the
Yeah.
Shane Company. They've updated it a little bit. I'm like, you can't change the ad. Like,
get outta here.
hello. I know, like the ad is the ad, but yeah.
Now you've got a friend in the tattoo business.
Reverend's Tattoo at the corner of blah blah blah. 13th.
Oh, I fucking love it. I'm totally doing it. Those guys are gonna love that shit too. They're gonna have a
I know
ball
it's
with
gonna
it.
be hilarious. That's so funny.
Awesome. It was great to talk to you guys. I
You
appreciate
too.
the conversation.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks for
for-
joining us.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Of course,
Um,
anytime.
We also wanted to let you guys know that if you have any questions about what we talk about, if there's anything that you want to know about the universe, email us at thedeependpodcast2024@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Yay!
totally. We'll do our best to answer your questions and it'll be fun. We'll Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for tuning in, listening to our podcast, and following us into the depths of the subconscious and the unknown.
Into the depths of your soul.
Come find me and book a reading on www.mutablemystic.com. Find me on Facebook at Mutable Mystic. You can find me on Instagram at mutable_mystic. Also, if you'd like to check out any of my music, you can find me on SoundCloud /stay STE_music.
And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Quantum Healing with Steph Green, and book your own past life regression session, or you can send me a message on Facebook and we could talk about what you have in mind. And don't forget to like, follow, and share the Deep End podcast on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in today.
Till we can bend your mind next time. Always remember to ground your feet in the dirt and enjoy life with those gratitude glasses on. Catch us on
The Deep End.
The deep end.
Welcome to the deep end.
The Deep End.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
It's deep, man.
The deep end.
Deep end. The deep end.